Is it just me? Or does everybody else's wheel rooms get untidy? And this will not do. Oh, that is much better. But it certainly does make a difference having a tidier layout. And now we can crack on with the modelling. Welcome back to Alnahudy Central. And I don't know if you can hear, but in the background we finally have some trains running. And I'm recording this on the 23rd of May 2018. And this is the date when the Welsh Government have awarded the new rail franchise away from River Trains Wales to a new company called Keolis Amy. It's a £5 billion franchise deal which will run for the next 15 years supposedly. Now I've heard mixed reviews about this company. They run the Docklands Light Railway. Whether it be an improvement to the River Trains Wales, we'll just have to wait and see. But as a tribute, I thought I'd set up the track, get the first train to actually run around the actual layout, and for that train to be a Class 67, first class service from Holyhead to Cardiff, to be the first train to run on Alnahudy Central. So here's a few clips of the train going round. This section over here, I've only put that down as a temporary basis just so I can get some trains running. But the main update on this video will be about the temporary, albeit temporary, control panel which I've wired up. So here you can see I've got the Alnahudy Central Station Eastern Approach all set up. You can see on the left hand side I'm running all the points off the Cobalt CDU2 and the actual control panel is run off the DCC unit with 12 volt current going in. I've designed the control panel itself on the computer and I've laminated it. It's only a temporary basis because eventually I'll have points up there as well, which will need to be incorporated onto this, but this is just to allow me to get the points working, to make sure I've wired them up properly, and boy did I have a problem wiring them up. But fingers crossed everything's running so far. There's one problem with this point here where one of the actual, I don't know if you can see if I get some light underneath here. All these wires. Yes, it's not the most tidiest of wiring, I need to tidy these wires up, but I don't know if you can see once I've zoomed in. But my switch left there has actually come off the actual point motor, so whether I'm going to have to resolder that on or buy a new point motor, we'll just have to wait and see. But obviously that's redundant now. And also I've noticed the negative wire from the DCC track has popped out as well. But all these switches are momentary switches, so they return back to the middle. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 switches on the actual track. However, 3 of these control 2 points at the same time. So that obviously if I'm running on the inside or the outside track, they can go straight onto the inside or outside, or vice versa. But fingers crossed, as I said, everything's working fine at the moment. But you can see if I throw a switch, if I throw this inside switch here, you can see we've got some good movements. One thing I did find is when I was trying to cut the point rods, not the point rods, the rods coming up from the point motors, they are so strong. Trying to find something to actually cut them with, and I had to use a Dremel in the end. But I've noticed on, if I show you on that one, the heat transfer of the Dremel on the actual rod has actually melted the sleeper. So eventually I can see myself having to change that actual point. So you've got to be careful really. And I haven't really found out a suitable solution yet to actually cutting the rods. So now that I've actually got some trains running, the next thing I will be doing, and I've ordered them yesterday, is installing a back scene on this section here. And the back scene I've gone for are ID back scenes, and it's I think it's a 12 metre section. They're 9-inch high. They're not the 15-inch high ones. They're 9 inches high because the gap from the bottom of the base, the bottom of the upper section to that bit there is 11 inches, and obviously I don't want to be wasting a lot, 4 inches of back seam. So I've gone for the 9 inches on this section, and that 9-inch section will go from the viaduct section all the way around. Whether or not I'm going to curve them, I'm not sure. I'm going to play that one by ear and decide once I get them. So that's going to be the next task of installing some back scenes. I've been looking up on the internet and looking at videos on back scenes, particularly ID back scenes, because I know a lot of people are using ID back scenes just for the realistic properties that they have. So I'm waiting for them in the post, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to do some scenery down here, maybe start on the station, because I have got some goodies sent for me from more railway scenery in that envelope there, or whether I'll start with the upper section. But it's only a quick update. We finally got some trains running. The Class 67 with the DVT. And so far, there's been no problems. So remember, if you like the vids, like and subscribe. Any comments are always welcome, negative or positive. And I'll update again once there's something to update about.